Okay. We are back with State of Georgia versus Maurice Demond Jones, 19 SC 169843. Hold for just a moment.
Wow, that the South Annex? I guess everybody's muted except us.
Ms. Clark, my Odyssey is acting up. I may just get you to read Mr. Jones's history into the record. I know it's old history. Thank you.
Who has the history?
Mr. Jones, the defendant. Hi, Judge.
Hey, what's up? Can you tell us what the recommendation is?
Yes, Judge. We have it pretty much worked out between the state and the defense. The state's recommendation is 2 years probation, and Mr. Jones agrees to that, except he would like his probation to be suspended.
After what?
I'm not sure.
Counselor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Hey, good to see you. I hope you're well. What do you want? Is he going to be doing some domestic violence counseling and anger management? Is that right, Ms. Chenault?
No, Judge. So this is actually an incident between him and his son. And the defense counsel has provided evidence to suggest that his son may have been the aggressor in this case. So the state has actually elected to no pros counts 1 and 2, and we're just proceeding on count 3, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And because of the circumstances, we aren't requiring any kind of counseling for defendant.
All right. So it'd be 5. How long did he serve in jail, Miss Woods? Please.
How long did you spend in jail before you got bonded out?
Couple of days.
Judge, it wasn't but a few days. I think it was 4 or 5 days in jail.
All right, let's just go with 5 years 5 years suspended on count 3. Can we do that, Ms. Chenault?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, y'all, please, let me talk to here, Mr. Jones, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Fine.
You can lower your hand. Counsel, have you discussed today's proceedings with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Does your client fully understand that he will be appearing by Zoom and not be physically present in the courtroom?
Yes, Judge.
Excuse me. Did you obtain a waiver, whether verbal or written?
I obtained a verbal waiver, and Mr. Jones would be. That's why we're here together, because I don't want there to be any confusion.
All right. Do you waive your right to be physically present in the courtroom, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Speak up. Sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you waive an original signature on the indictment and authorize the court to sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you discussed today's proceedings with your client?
Yes, Judge. We've discussed the case, and as you all know, Ms. Chenault and I have a shared reciprocal discovery with each other, and that's why the outcome is the way it is.
Does your client fully understand that he would be appearing via Zoom and not present in the courtroom?
Yes.
Do you waive an original signature on the indictment and authorize the court to sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes.
Ms. Chenault, does the state waive an original signature on the indictment and authorize the court to sign on its behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Y'all may proceed with perfecting the record.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, I know you were already sworn in. Can you please state your true, correct, and legal name, Mr. Jones?
Maurice Jones.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medicine?
No.
Is there any medication that you normally take that you haven't been given today?
No.
How old are you?
I'm 43.
How far have you gone in school?
I went to the 12th grade.
Did you graduate?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to read, write, and understand English?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're being charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the other charges have been dropped?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney? I don't want to say your last name wrong.
That's okay. Antonioli, Michael Antonioli.
Antonioli. Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney, Mr. Antonioli?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all discuss the facts and circumstances of this case, including potential defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need more time to discuss the case with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you waive a formal reading of the indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you waive any and all defects in the indictment, including with respect to your name?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you arrested on these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
The state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges. Do you or your attorney know of any?
No, Ms. Chenault.
Has your attorney advised you as to the minimum and maximum sentence for the charge you're pleading to?
Yes, ma'am.
Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon under this code section is punishable from 1 to 5 years in prison. You understand this sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and just so you know, if you are charged with this offense again, you could be charged under, and when I say again, I mean possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, you could be charged under the code section 1611-133, and that code section carries a minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. Well, it doesn't have to be in prison, but it has to be a 15-year sentence. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that this is a non-negotiated plea of guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
That means that the state has recommended 2 years probation as your sentence, and the defense has not quite agreed to that. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the judge can sentence you up to any sentence allowable by the law?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on future convictions if you have any?
Yes, ma'am.
And that goes for this jurisdiction as well as outside jurisdictions. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation or parole, your probation or parole may be revoked based on you entering a plea of guilty today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probation without being subject to having the balance revoked?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're not allowed to use or possess a firearm while you're on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, your guilty plea may affect your right to vote, the right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment. You understand these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that they may be impacted by you pleading guilty today.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or use a firearm in a crime, you will be guilty of a felony which may carry a sentence of 1 to 15 years in prison?
Yes, ma'am.
And that goes back to the different code section I was telling you about earlier. Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including with respect to your mental health, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're giving up certain rights you would have had at a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Those rights include the right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent, the right to confront witnesses, the right to the assistance of counsel, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify, the right to subpoena witnesses, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. You understand these rights?
Yes.
And you understand that you've given them up today by pleading guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter into a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Well, he's entering the guilty plea under Alford.
Okay, so when I ask you the question, then if you want to do offer, then you would say no. And then I'll
Okay.
ask you another question. No. Okay, so I'll ask again. That man. Is your decision to waive these rights to enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Are you pleading guilty because you have decided that it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Are you aware that even if you do not admit guilt, this is still a plea of guilty and places you in the same position as if you were convicted by a jury at a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to the charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in indictment number 19 SC 169843?
Guilty.
Under Alford versus, or North Carolina versus Alford.
Thank you. Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
She's a sweet girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you understand that you may only have a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you only have 4 years from today for a felony and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor to file a habeas corpus petition challenging whether this plea was voluntary?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And Ms. Clark, would you please read the defendant's record into the, history into the record?
I'm sorry, please.
I have a Douglas County theft by taken in 2008 and a Cobb County forgery. Let me see. But all of them are inactive. So he's not currently on any type of probation or supervision.
No, that's correct.
Okay, and as alleged, Judge, this incident took place in Fulton County in July, I think,
July 5th.
Sorry. Yes,
That's all right.
July 5th of 2019. This is an incident between the defendant and his son. The son did come looking for the defendant at his home, and he was enraged at that time. He was mad at his father for some reason. He then went to his father's store and confronted him. Defense counsel, do you mind just finishing, please?
Sure. If you have any objection, just say so, okay? The son came to the store and demanded money from his father and started basically destroying the store, the orange store at the West End Mall, where he has his business. His father tried to get him out of the store, and eventually what occurred was he left the store, called the police, and had his father arrested. After that, I provided Ms. Chenault a video from YouTube of the son explaining what happened at the store and explaining how he felt about his father. And that's where we are today, Judge.
All right. And does your client understand the nature of the charges against him?
He does.
Sir, do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
And you're waiving all of those rights freely, voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Is counsel satisfied that your client is competent in understanding the plea is voluntary and there is a factual basis?
Yes.
I find the defendant is competent to enter the plea. I found the plea is voluntarily and freely given with full knowledge of all the rights that he's waiving. I will accept the plea and sentence. I'll accept the null process on counts 1 and 2 and sentence on count 3, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 5 years to serve, community time served. All right. Thank you all. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All
Thank
right.
Thank you, Ms. Chenault.
Sure,
Y'all
thank-
may be excused.
Thank you.
Miss Woods.
Yes, Judge, let me call
Where's
Ms. Rockwell right now. She's the last one. I told her to get online. Calling her now.
Hey, we're signing on right now.
Okay, 'cause Judge is getting ready to go.
I'm sorry?
Come on.
What'd you say?
Come on now, because we're done. We're
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, he's on the other line.
okay,
So I
y'all
can't sign
gonna,
off.
you gonna mess around. Bye. Can't even be on time for Zoom. Can't be on.
Candace and I had a nice lunch today.
Well, that's great. I'm
You may
glad.
be
You
paid.
you should be paying, but we're on YouTube Live, so, you know. Candace, would you like this recorded? Let me record this. Ah.
April, what is Mr. Brazil charged with?
Judge, let me bring a copy. A lot of charges. Hold on, they're traffic. All, let's see, I hope I don't have to redo this. Hold on. Driving while license suspended, registration and licensing expired or no license plate, no insurance, and then a convicted felon, possession of firearm by a convicted felon. So that looks like the only felony on, yeah.
That's why we got it, the firearm charge?
Yes, sir, I believe so. It might be that he's a repeated offender.
he's
I'm
re-
not,
I'll be
yes,
right
he
back.
is
I gotta get something.
he is a repeat offender, Judge.
Okay.
That's why we got it, because he's a RO.
Hey,
Hi, we can't see you. We need to be able to see you, Miss
hold on. And Clinton is calling me. Hold on. He's calling.
Clinton.
Hold on.
Okay. Oh, I did not mean to turn my video on.
Got it set up. April. April.
Yes, ma'am.
He's got it set up. Just hold on. We're just dealing with he doesn't know how to open up his email. So I'm trying.
I mean, you can actually give him the meeting ID code.
Okay.
You give
so I
that,
don't
but
have,
I send it
I
to
don't-
you in the email. You look
Okay.
beautiful, but
do I
just
have to
tell.
flip back? Do I have to flip back over? Can you give it to me right now?
No, I cannot give it to you on this
Okay,
because
hold
we're
on.
live on YouTube.
Okay, stand by. Let me see.
Thank you.
The code is, I'm not gonna be able to give him the password. Is it 84769? I'm sorry.
Hey,
847
Rockwell,
Yeah.
please
Yes.
mute yourself.
Okay. I just need to know what the,
I
let me
just
mute
mute
myself.
yourself. I'll email it to you, please.
okay.
Okay, Diva Rockwell, are you ready now?
I'm ready. Is
Okay,
Mr. Brazil on?
where's, I thought I just let him in. Where is, there he is. I see him.
I can't see him. Oh, look at, oh, good Lord. Okay, there's everybody. Where's the judge?
There
Oh,
he
there he
is.
is. Hey, Judge.
What's up, Miss
Wait a minute.
Rockwell?
Hey, Mr. Brazil, we can't see you. And we can't hear you either. Okay, here you go. We can't hear you. Can you talk?
So why is he
Oh,
charged with felonies, Miss Rockwell, other than the possession of the firearm by a convicted felon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not supposed to have a gun, Judge.
How long did he spend in jail, Miss Woods?
Wait a minute. Let me
About
get
an hour.
Oh,
That's
there,
it?
there you go.
No, I mean, you gave him a bond, so he had to get indicted and get to you. So you gave him a bond. Mr. Brazil, how long did you stay in jail? Not how
He's
long
still-
did it feel? How long did you stay in jail?
Miss Rockwell, he's still trying to connect. So you all give him just a second.
Y'all have a negotiated plea, Miss Chenault?
We're a year apart, Judge.
It's non-negotiated, Judge. The state's recommendation is 5 years to serve one with the balance on probation. That's solely based on Mr. Brazil's history and not the current allegations.
I will take a plea where he has lengthy probation returnable to this division, which means if he has another gun, he's going to prison. You understand that?
Yes, sir. He's
I'm
also
asking the
on
defendant, do you
probation.
understand that?
Is he on the line, Judge? I don't know if he's on the line.
Can you
He
hear
is.
him? Is his muted?
Mr. Brazil? Oh, let me send him a message, Judge.
Glinton, can you hear us? Can you hear us? April, is there an 800 number that we can call in on now that you know he's here?
We have to see him take this plea or we can't do it.
Okay. Oh, he's on mute.
I showed him how to do this morning.
Okay, he's got to unmute it.
I hear you.
Okay, good. We hear him.
All right, I'm going to give you lengthy probation. If you violate it and you have more guns, you're going to prison. Do you understand me, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
So, Judge, we do have to take care of a Judge Campbell probation.
How much time is left on that, on the probation?
Mr. Brazil?
Just give us just a
Probation.
second.
I think it's like I had a program. I was finishing the program, but they said suspend the balance after I finished the program. Daily report.
Ms. Clark,
Yes,
I just
Judge.
sent her to it. Okay.
can you tell me how long he has on probation with Judge Campbell?
I am trying to pull him up in our system, and unless he has a different name, I'm not seeing that.
It's Glinton with the Glinton.
I have his social, Ms. Clark. I'm gonna send it to you now.
Okay, thank you.
I see the hit and run. Is that the case that you're on probation for?
No, ma'am. It was a drug case.
Back from 2015?
Yeah, something like that. I think
Okay,
so.
hold on.
He gave me daily report.
I thought I remembered seeing you.
Yes.
Did you do the RSAT program?
I did that. I finished that. Judge LaGrua gave me that.
Okay.
Oh, he has a,
You see him now, Ms. Clark?
hold on, one moment.
lot going on. You don't need to drive.
You're in our system.
Oh, wait a minute.
Clinton.
Jacoby represented you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh. You want me to give you the number? You got it. Ms.
have-
Clark, you got it?
I have.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He was in our system for some reason as Clinton and not Glinton.
Can you tell me, Ms. Clark, what the charge is for and how long he has?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. His charges for that case was possession with intent to distribute cocaine, possession of marijuana, and violation of motor vehicle laws, which was a misdemeanor. He has 13 years and 27 days remaining on that case.
But well, from my understanding, it was like if I finish the program, suspend the balance.
What are the charges again, Ms. Clark?
Possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, possession of marijuana, and that's a misdemeanor as well, and a misdemeanor violation of motor vehicle laws.
All right, let's revoke and suspend on that. Do you waive notice, Ms. Rockwell?
So waived.
All right, I'm gonna revoke and suspend on that. In this case, I want to structure 5 years of probation. So what we'll do is give him 12 months community time served on all the traffic offenses and have 5 years probation on the firearm charge.
Could I just get the indictment number on the one that got revoked and suspended, Judge?
18 FC 159870.
All right, Mr.
Is that, wait a minute, Judge, was that also Judge Campbell?
It was. Judge Campbell signed
Okay.
it back in 2018.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Mr.
Judge,
Brazil,
one
please raise
thing.
your right hand.
Will the
swear
court
affirm the
entertain a
testimony-
NOLO?
I'm sorry?
I'll speak to it. I'll speak to it when it's my turn, Judge. I'm sorry.
Sir, do you swear or affirm the testimony you give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you discussed today's proceedings with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Does your client fully understand that he would be appearing by Zoom and not be present in the courtroom?
He understands that. Mr. Brazil, you can put your hand down.
Did you obtain a waiver, whether verbal or written?
Written waiver, Judge. I mean, verbal waiver. I can submit a written one if the court
Oh, that's okay.
requires.
Do you waive an original signature on the indictment and authorize the court to sign the indictment on your behalf?
So waived, Judge. And we, Mr. Brazil is going to allow the court to sign on his behalf also.
Have you discussed today's proceedings with your attorney, Mr. Brazil?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has your attorney explained to you that you have a right to be physically present in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you waive your right to be physically present in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you waive an original signature on the indictment and authorize the court to sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does the state waive an original signature on the indictment and authorize the court to sign on his behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, y'all may proceed to perfect the record.
Thank you, Judge.
The misdemeanors will be 12 months community time served, 12 months suspended on each count to run concurrent, and the gun charge will be 5 years straight probation to run consecutive.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, Mr. Brazil,
Yes, ma'am.
please state your true, correct, and legal name.
Glinton Brazil Jr.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medicine?
No, ma'am.
Is there any medication that you normally take that you haven't been given today?
My blood pressure.
And what's the name of that blood pressure medicine?
Amlodipine.
And does not having that medication affect your ability to understand this proceeding?
No, ma'am.
Does not having that medication affect your ability to tell the truth today?
No, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
How far have you gone in school?
10 GED, 10th grade GED.
And are you able to read, write, and understand English?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Brazil, before we continue, can you go back and spell your name, please? Your first name and your last name.
GLINTON. Last name Brazil. BRAZIL.
Junior.
Junior.
Thank you. And let me pull up your charges. Actually, Ms. Woods, can you read his charges into the record? My Odyssey is not working. Is Ms. Woods there? Okay. Ms. Rockwell, do you have his charges?
Not in front of me right now because it's, if I open it up, you're gonna lose me.
Yes. Okay, I know you've
Hold
been
on.
charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. That's the only felony you're being charged with. And then you're being charged with several misdemeanors related to driving a car with a suspended tag and driving without a driver's license, or I think your license may have been suspended. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think there was also an open container charge as well. But
I'm gonna try to pull them up also.
okay, we'll read those charges to you formally, but basically it's one felony and several misdemeanors. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney, Ms. Rockwell, about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in this indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all also discuss potential defenses?
Ma'am.
Did you all also discuss defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm gonna go back a minute because I'm talking with the court reporter. Can you also spell the medication that you're taking?
Let me get the ball right quick.
Okay.
Oh. What is all blood pressure level? Blood pressure not high. Yeah. Oh, well. Hold on, man.
Sure, no problem.
It's you ready? You ready?
Yes.
AMLODIPINE.
Thank you. Thank you for getting that. Okay, and I just want to read your charges to you formally. Thank you, Madam Probation. You're being charged with driving, possession of an open alcohol container, driving while license suspended or revoked, driving expired or no license plate, no insurance, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And have you had enough time to speak with your attorney, Ms. Rockwell, about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in this indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all also discuss defenses?
Ma'am.
Did you all also discuss potential defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need more time to discuss the case with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with her services?
Ma'am.
Are you satisfied with her services?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you approve the formal reading of the indictment?
So waived.
Do you waive any and all defects in the indictment, including with respect to your name?
So waived.
And were you arrested on these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
The state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges. Do you or your attorney know of any?
No,
No,
ma'am.
Okay. Has your attorney advised you as to the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge you're pleading to?
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Okay, so the felony in this case, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon under this code section is punishable from 1 to 5 years in prison. And all the other charges are misdemeanors and they're punishable up to 12 months in jail. You understand those sentences?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that this is a non-negotiated plea of guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware of the state's offer of 5 years to serve one with a balance on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
that's just what the state is offering, Mr. Brazil. We're gonna make a different recommendation.
Yes, and did you discuss this offer with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the court can impose any sentence authorized by law?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that this is a guilty plea which is permanently recorded on your criminal history?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on future convictions if you have any?
Yes, ma'am.
And that goes for this jurisdiction as well as outside jurisdictions. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probation without being subject to having the balance revoked?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're not allowed to possess or use a firearm while you're on probation?
Ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, excuse me. For example, your guilty plea may affect your right to vote, the right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment. You understand these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that they may be impacted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm or use a firearm in a crime, you will be guilty of a felony which may carry a sentence of 1 to 15 years in prison?
Yes, ma'am.
And just so you're aware, if you're charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon again, since you're already pleading guilty to one offense, you can be charged under a different code section, 1611-133. And that code section requires a minimum of a 15-year sentence if you're charged under that code section. So basically this is your first time being charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. If you're charged a second time, then you can be charged under that different code section, which requires a minimum penalty of 15 years. You
Yes,
understand that?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including with respect to your mental health, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're giving up certain rights you would have had at a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Those rights include the right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent, the right to confront witnesses, the right to the assistance of counsel, the right to presumption of innocence, the right to testify, the right to subpoena witnesses, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. You understand these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you've given them up by pleading guilty today.
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter into a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
We were gonna try to tender a no-low plea, and we'll speak to that when it's our turn.
That's fine. A no-low plea is fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you want to do no low, then you would just answer no, and then I will ask you additional questions.
Okay.
Okay? Is your decision to waive these rights to enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you have decided that it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes.
He's pleading no-low.
That's fine. He's pleading no-low. No
Right.
contest. Okay.
Are you aware that even if you do not admit guilt, this is a plea of guilty and places you in the same position as if you were convicted by a jury at a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that it still does result in a conviction, but it's not a guilty plea, it's a no-low plea. That just added for clarification.
Thank
All right.
you. And how do you plead to the charges of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, driving, possession of an open container, driving while license suspended or revoked, driving expired license, plate or decal, no insurance?
No, no low.
Okay, in this current indictment, you plead no low?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Is this no low plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you may only have a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
no-low plea conviction, yeah.
Do you understand that you only have 4 years from today for a felony and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor to file a habeas corpus petition challenging whether this plea was voluntary?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And Ms. Clark, if you would read the defendant's history into the record.
Ooh-wee. Mr. Brazil has a 2005 possession of cocaine, possession of marijuana. He has a 2006 obstruction of law enforcement officer and possession of cocaine. He has a 2009 possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, a 2011 sale and distribution of cocaine and sale and distribution of marijuana, a 2012 possession of cocaine, a 2012 possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, a 2013 theft by receiving stolen property, the 2018 possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, all of Fulton County, and he has a DeKalb County violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That's 1998, but that was DeKalb County.
Thank you. Judge, had this case gone to trial, the state would have shown that on January 12th of this year, Mr. Brazil was driving in Fulton County, Georgia with a license plate that was suspended. He was pulled over subsequently by a police officer. When the officer engaged him, he did ask for his license. His license came back as being suspended. He also had an open alcohol container. In a search of the car incident to arrest and inventory of the car, the officer found a handgun in the glove compartment, and Mr. Brazil was arrested and charged accordingly.
Sir, do you understand the nature of the charges against you?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
You understand all the rights you give up by entering this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you're giving up all those rights freely and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're pleading no contest because that's in your best interest to do so, nolo contendery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is counsel satisfied that your client is competent in understanding the plea is voluntary and that there is
Yes,
a
sir.
factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. Let's proceed with the factual basis, please. Oh, you already did that. I'm sorry.
Yes, Judge.
And we stipulate there's a factual basis for the plea.
Okay, all right, then he's sentenced 12 months on each misdemeanor, 12 months served, 12 months suspended on each misdemeanor and 5 years probation consecutive on the firearm charge. All right, good to see you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you,
Ms.
Judge.
Rockwell. Why don't you start doing divorce law?
We're gonna, oh, no danger of that. Judge, we're gonna miss y'all so much.
However, you
Well-
say that, but y'all don't mean it.
We'll still come over and plop down on your couch and visit though.
All right, come see us, okay?
All right, Judge. Thank
Have a
you
great
so much.
weekend.
Ms. Chenault, thank you so much, Ms. Chenault. Thank you, Ms. April.
You're welcome. Mr. Brazil, stay on the line. Ms. Clark is going to talk to you. I guess Ms. Rockwell is gone. I don't know. Is she still there?
No, I'm here.
Okay, I just
I'm
put
under
you
my
all
AKA.
into, I just put you all into a breakout room. Thank you so very much.
All right.